gentlemen, kings, these are some of the ways you might be in a relationship with a Jezebel, a woman that means you absolutely nothing but harm. Look, how bad did that last breakup hurt? You know what I'm talking about, that woman that used and abused you. After the breakup, you sitting in a restaurant, you sitting up there trembling, you can't even drink your drink, you sitting there trembling. Now, I knew you're a protector, king. I know that. Normally when you go to the restaurant, you sit facing the door instead of your back to a wall because you're a protector. However, after this traumatic breakup from this woman, you at the restaurant got 3 doors. You said nail up the other 2 so I could only concentrate on the one. That's what I'm talking about. Let me show you some of the ways you might have attracted a Jezebel. Now, sometimes you have to ask God to help you fix your picker. Now, when I say fix your picker, gentlemen, I don't mean that in a nasty way. What I'm saying is ask God to give you the wisdom to choose a wife that is sent from heaven from Him. Sometimes we go after what we want instead of what we need. Sometimes we go after what looks good to us, but it's not necessarily good for us. Years ago, I was talking to this guy, and he admitted he would choose women that was 15, 20 years younger than him. He also admitted that, for the most part, all they did was just use him financially. So I said, you know what? Why don't you come out of the nursery? He got mad at me. Well, you know what? Sometimes the truth hurts. Now that is the definition of insanity. In this new relationship, you need to be asking, do you know how to fight? Have you ever had any restraining orders put out on you? Do you have one currently? No, seriously, you guys, honestly, a man can be abused too. I'm not making fun of that. Did you know that there are so many domestic violence shelters in California for women? But there are only 2 for men. Why? Because men don't report abuse. They're embarrassed. They think it takes away from the manhood, which it doesn't. No man is exempt. I don't care how smart you are from a woman to take advantage of you and use you. Okay, now let's get into this. I'm reading from my notes. If the only criteria you have for choosing a wife is her curves, you know, is she really, really curvy like that highway on the way to my cousin Blake's house? If that's your only criteria, you need to do some homework. You need to do a little bit further digging. Okay? You may be setting yourself up to be used by a certain type of woman that means absolutely no good to you. If you've ever been taken advantage of a woman, if you've ever been abused mentally, emotionally, financially destroyed by a woman, how bad did that hurt? You better remember where you came from so you can pray to ask God to prepare you for where you don't want to ever go again. Do you ever, king, want to ever entertain or choose that type of a woman again? Okay? Okay, what does your gut tell you? If you're social media king, listen, please listen. If your social media only is telling a woman, this is my value, what I can do for you financially, look at my gorgeous body, it doesn't mean that that's true of you. That's the message you're sending to her. Don't be surprised if that's the impression that she gets. You're saying, this is my only value. I'm superficial. Okay? Is she only interested in your banking account? How many cars do you drive? What does your 401k look like? Does the conversation seem so superficial? Is it always about her? Does she only talk about what you can do for her? What you can buy for her? Gucci, Fendi, Louis, Prada, and you need to buy it now. Does she come to the date with a list this long of everything you can do for her? Unearned, undeserved. Is she getting to know the real you? Is she asking questions to get to know the authentic you, your core, your values, what you stand for? Or is she only trying to grow the sexual attraction between you and her? Once you get out of the bed with her, do you have an asset or do you have a liability? Do you want something that looks good to you but isn't good for you? Does she break you off sex very, very soon? I mean, and it's good. I mean, really good. You maybe need to write this down. I mean, really good. She does everything from A to Z. I mean, like ASAP. Y'all barely met. She might be trying to get you hooked on her sexually. So by the time her mask falls off and the real her is revealed, it's either very, very difficult for you to leave the relationship, if not close to impossible. Okay? Just in case you're in the presence of a Jezebel, a professional man user, a professional man abuser, she could only keep that mask and that facade going on for so long. What is the real indicator of how she really is that you should be using? Time. Time. You don't want to jump in either, king, and just go in with both feet. You want to walk into love, not fall into love. Okay? These are the biggest things that will get you in trouble because, King, you view your season as punishment instead of preparation. You view your season as I'm in jail, and the first woman come along or the wrong woman that comes along, you see her as bail bonds. I'm not done yet. Hold on, I lost my count. Okay. What did you learn from that last relationship, King? What good did you take from that relationship? That relationship, even though it wasn't healthy, it was never wasted. What was the takeaway? Blessings often come with a lesson. Blessings often come in very, very unexpected and hidden packages. The best way to identify whether or not you're putting yourself in line to be taken advantage of by a woman is anxiety. You have the fear. God, am I always going to be single? Are you ever going to send me a wife? Time. You don't want it to take the necessary time for this woman to present herself, the woman that God has for you, in time enough in the relationship, being exposed to her to reveal who she really is. And prayer. If you're not praying, God, is this the woman that has for me? No matter what the outer package looks like, yes, you are setting yourself up to meet a Jezebel. Okay? Are you praying? Are you asking? Or again, are you just looking at the outer shell? If you're impatient, yeah, you want it. We don't serve a microwave God. Are you too impatient? You want it right now? Well, okay then. When we go out there and we take matters in our own hands, and we choose prematurely instead of letting God be at the top of the hierarchy, instead of letting God choose the choosing and be in the foundation, yes, we choose the wrong one. Okay, let's sum this up. The best way to get over someone is to heal and trust that God will send you someone else, someone healthier, someone better. Let me say this again to the men in the back of the room who didn't hear what I said. The best way to get over someone is to heal and trust that God will send you someone else, someone healthier and somewhat better.